You told Harpo to beat me. That was the look that Tony just gave you, Chris.
Hey, but I said it. hey, I'm going to smile because I was talking about my thing earlier.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm not smiling. Hey, I'm not smiling.
You lying. But I'm glad you're not.
No, I'm not. All right, look. So anyway, moving right along.
Hey, now that we're not talking about that long thing earlier, that long story earlier, let's
Oh my God. What's good, y'all? What's good? Welcome to M2M-TV. I'm your host, Richard Hall, and you know I can't do this show without my brother from another mother, Chris Smith. What's good, Chris?
Man, bro, you've been doing this show without your brother from another mother. I'm sorry. I've had so much going on, but glad to be back, man.
Yeah, you know, I was starting to feel some type of way, you know. I said it last week. I think last week or the week before, man, game one, I was like, I know for sure, and I told Tony this offline and on the show, I was like, I know for sure Chris is over there watching game one, turned up. I know he bets on the games. He got some pool going. He over there just betting on all the games.
Hey, bottom line is the pool is only on the final game.
Okay.
But I wasn't. You knew what I was going through, bro. You know them health issues be kicking my butt.
No, I knew what was up. So I'm gonna give you a pass. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a pass.
Thanks, Rich.
Oh my God, Tony, how do you deal with us, Tony? How do you deal with us?
Quietly.
Quietly.
Hey,
I heard that.
A favor. Quietly share the show so I can quietly do what I gotta do.
There it is. Oh man.
What the hell?
2 weeks, Tony.
Yeah.
I ain't got no home training. 2 weeks.
So I see my boy. I see my boy Suge is online. What's up, Suge? I see you, man.
Hey, it's like, hey, I'm like a brother fresh out of jail, coming home eating just like this. Tony, 2 weeks, Tony.
Oh man.
All right, I'm out of here. I do want to share with you guys though that I saw Jacqueline Price on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
she came down to the picnic. She came down and I told her, I said, well, you know, I told Richard and Chris they should be here, blah, blah, blah. She was like, oh, I was hoping I'd see them, you know. So she did send her love and her best wishes to you too and everybody actually on the network.
Oh,
she is by far the sweetest lady. She really is. And I do want to tell her once again, thank you for coming down. I was like, you actually came down here to meet me. And she's like, yeah, I came to meet you. So I was shocked. I was really shocked, but very, very pleased. So I do want to say thank you again to Miss Jacqueline.
Now, where's Miss Jacqueline from?
She lives in the upper part of Los Angeles, like that border of like the Thousand Oaks area.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
That was a long drive for her. That was a long drive to be down there at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I want to say thank you to her because she didn't have to do it. And she is probably going to be one of our, she has got to be our loyalist fan.
Oh, definitely.
Jacqueline's been rocking with us for sure.
Yeah, and I think that we have to honor her by saying thank you, you know, because she didn't have to do it, and she asked about you too. She was really hoping that she would see you. It was a really great event. We were up to about 900 people who came out to this event. So really a nice event. If you get a chance, guys, go on to my Facebook. You'll see all the pictures.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And don't rub it in again. She was hoping to see you. She was hoping to see you. We heard you the first time. Okay, we didn't make it.
She was hoping to see you.
Yeah. I wanted to actually attend the event, but the way my schedule was set up didn't work out.
Well, look, let me go on and brag on my little, you know. I wanted to attend the event, but you know, my daughter was making regionals in track, so you know, I had to support her. So proud of my baby. 100 meters, and she's in the regionals. Love you, baby. Keep doing your thing.
Oh, that's
well, congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah, we have a lot to be proud of. All right,
yeah,
Tony.
Absolutely. I am out. I am going to sit in the cut. I'm still trying to get my voice back.
Well, turn the AC on, girl. Turn the AC on. Sit in the cut. Turn the AC on.
Yeah. I got the fan going over there. I hope you guys don't hear the air on the mic.
I don't want your hair.
Oh, it's on.
Like
hey,
that.
bro, we done got on and made her hot.
Get frizzy.
Fan right there. Go on,
that's what's up.
Tell the truth.
Man, let's get to this show. Man. Bye, Tony.
Bye.
All right, y'all. If you just tuning in to M2M-TV, we really appreciate it. Hey, look, share this post right now because the conversation tonight is going to be that real. It's going to be that off the chain tonight. So far, I see Suge is here. Sid is here. Natasha, you're here. Thank you, guys. I'm waving back at y'all. Thank you. You guys, hey, share the show right now because it's going to be that real. If you guys have any insight on tonight's topic, make sure you comment away. Like, you know what I'm saying? Comment away. Because, you know, me and Chris, we don't know everything, but damn it, we know a lot.
Right?
We know a lot.
Come on.
We don't know everything, but we
might not know everything.
A lot.
But we know a lot.
We know a lot. Diana, I see you watching in. Thank you so much for tuning in, Diana. So tonight's topic, Chris, toxic relationships, man.
Yeah.
And why do women stay? You feel me? Now we that's a hell of a topic. And I'm not gonna put nobody on blast or nothing like that. But when this topic came into my inbox this week, you know, and I, you know, we do it every week. We tell our listeners, you know, to go over to the Man-to-Man page, or if they know us individually, you know, hit us on our inbox to share some topics, share some things that they're probably going through, so we can talk about it. We don't know everything, but we know a lot. That's right. The easiest way I could say it. I'm not a counselor or nothing like that. I don't have no degree for it. Chris don't have a degree for it. But we talk a lot of shit on
Man. So just know, if you come up on here talking about, y'all don't know everything. We sure don't know everything, but we know a lot. So you heard it.
We don't know everything, but we know a lot. So, look, before we get into it, of course, I want to definitely thank our sponsors and everything, because without our sponsors, we couldn't even do this show. We have to thank, of course, Hot Topics Talk Radio. So that's the main place. If you want to find out any information on what's going on with Man-to-Man-TV, with Hot Topics, with Real World News, that's like the hot spot to go to, hottopicstalkradio.com. All right, because without our sponsors keep us going. We got FES Protection, you know, so thank you so much. We got our very own SPMG Media with Gina Smith. She sponsors the show. We have, you know, the Urban Sentinel, and our very own Reggie Kern. You know, he's the editor-in-chief of that paper. So, you know, make sure you go check that out. And of course, we have Shades of Africa. They have 2 locations. Come on. So go over there, you know, and to the Hot Topics Talk Radio, find more information out about our sponsors, because when you mention Man-to-Man TV, or you mention those 2 crazy brothers on the Hot Topics Talk Radio network, they're going to give you some discounts as well as some promotions and all other type of good shit, because you on the Hot Topics Talk Radio, where we talk shit and you get shit. How about that?
That's all you're going to get from us. That's all you're going to hear, but you're going to get some good shit and some hot shit and some real shit.
It's some real shit. There it is. All right, so let's get into this shit. All right. So Chris, so look, man, so I know I hit you and I was like, man, we got to do this topic. Yeah. Toxic relationships. And, okay. What's up, Johnny K. Sweet? I heard that. What up? I see you. Yeah. So what's up, everybody? And look, chime in. So we got to get into this topic. The topic tonight is toxic relationships and why do women stay? And Chris, before the show, I went live a little bit, you know, because a lot of times us men, we can stay in toxic relationships too.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
You feel me? And sometimes, you know, we create these situations, and women are real good at creating this type of scenario.
Especially the older they get.
Right. And see, here's the thing. The scenario is this. Why do women want to stay in a relationship, right, that they know is bad for them? You know, they have the kids or whatever, but they know it's bad. But instead of leaving that relationship, they cheat on their man. They get a side dude on the side. Or even vice versa. Some of us men, women ain't giving it up how they used to, or they're just plain destructive and they don't believe in us anymore, or whatever the case may be. So of course we get a side chick that obviously wants to, make us pump us up.
Basically, yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts on this topic tonight, man? Because we didn't really get a chance to talk about it. I just want to know, what are your thoughts on tonight's, man?
I mean, because when you look at it, I mean, the older women get, they seem to be a little bit more desperate as far as wanting a relationship if they're not in a relationship, or if they've just gotten into a relationship. It's almost like they get to a certain age, and I would probably say somewhere between like 30s, like somewhere between 30 and 38, they start worrying, like if they're not in a serious relationship at that point, if they're going to be single for the rest of their life. And, they worry about finding that good man. And, I've seen a lot of good women actually get with like men that really ain't worth shit, but only because that's what they're comfortable with. And I think for the most part, it's just a comfort level type of thing.
Yeah, the desperation, the comfort level, the fear of being alone, all of those things, man. But see, here's the thing, man. Like, with all seriousness, I know a few people that are in like toxic relationships. I mean, they've been with these people for like 15 years, 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same shit happens.
Married?
I mean, I'm talking, what's that?
Married?
What'd you say?
Are they married?
Not even married. Or I'm sorry. My bad. One of them just got married like maybe a year or two ago.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing though. Like, if the dude had like 3 or 4 kids on you and gave you VD and done all type of shit to you, it's time to go.
Hold up, my man didn't have multiple kids?
Nigga, not just one.
Man, my man multiple. Said he done gave you kids. Look, hold up. He done got his own kids and gave you a disease. So he gave you something you didn't want and gave somebody else something they wanted.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense, man.
No,
and not to laugh at that, because I know that's a real situation. But I would need to get understanding on that, especially not being married. That, because to me, I always tell people, when you're not married, I don't care how long you've been together. You single. You can walk away. You can do whatever you want. Oh, y'all ain't got no ties.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when you married, you have to weigh your options. Because even like you were saying with men, how they might stay in a toxic relationship. Well, you heard the saying, it's cheaper to keep her. So most men are like, let me see.
Well, how much do I want to pay in child support?
Look, I can leave her, get all the girls that I want, be able to do whatever I want, or pay child support, barely ever see my kids, be lonely, gotta cook my own food, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of stuff that, we have to worry about, especially when it comes to how many kids you have.
Right. But see, I think like low key, I mean, to be all the way real with you, man, because what you're saying is so on point with where this topic is. What you're saying is so on point. But I think it's these little girls, man. Like, you have a daughter.
Yeah.
And I have a daughter. Mm-hmm. I have 3 girls.
I was saying, well, you got a couple of it. You got a few of it.
Yeah, I got 3 girls, man. And I pray, dude. I pray that they don't end up in like the same type of situation of a few people that I know, where it's just that bad. People are so in love with the idea of love to where if it just looks like love, they'll just take a piece of that love because they got a man to claim to, or whatever the case may be, and then they'll maybe cheat or find somebody on the side or whatever the case may be, just to try to make themselves happy. And so you can't make right from wrong. You can't make right from wrong. At all. There's no way you can't make right from wrong. Now you can create a new situation, but even still, the new situation might have baggage. Like there might be trust issues because if if the girl is cheating on her current dude with the side dude, who's to say she won't cheat on the new dude with another side dude? You feel what I'm saying?
Right. So like if you got her that way, she may end up doing the same thing right back in return to you. Or, it's just...
That's what I'm saying.
It's not a good situation to just be getting into,
Right. So I think that if you're in a toxic relationship, for one, I think some of the things that people should do is number one, seek counseling. If you're married, seek counseling because maybe there's not too much water under the bridge. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been to counseling before.
Oh, I have. Oh, I
Okay.
have.
So enlighten me, brother. I don't know. How does that work out?
So look, you have different types of counseling. You have the church counseling, and then you just have non-believer counseling, like just normal people that just have their own, they don't bring the biblical side into it. And
right.
if I had to choose, I would say the biblical side or the church side of it would be best, but it also depends on how much you guys are going to church, which hopefully if you're in a relationship, that's what you're doing because that's really the way you maintain and have that balance within the relationship. But if you're not going to church, then you go the route of just going to a regular counselor. But the thing is they dig deep and it's not really, and maybe it could have just been the ones that I went to. They go deeper than just the relationship. They tend to go into your personal, like as far as how you were raised, what you grew up in, and they try to dissect it from that form first before they actually like dig deep into the actual relationship. So you might come into the therapy session talking about the relationship, but they listen to the tendencies and different things that are just like, okay, well, did she have a father? Did he have a father? And then they start digging into that. So that's why I said, counseling is good, but most men are not going to ever be open to listening to someone else actually tell them how to live their life or what they think they should be doing. Women are always more open with stuff like that.
No, that's true. But see, what even situations where a woman knows the difference between right and wrong, knows that the dude's no good or whatever the case may be, or vice versa, they still stay. Like they create excuses to stay. Like a lot of times I think like we just had a comment right now, Sid, he said they use kids as an excuse to stay.
The women or men?
And I don't know. It might be women or men will use kids as an excuse because, I mean, think about it. A dude that's having a bad time in a relationship, if he got him a little side chick or whatever the case may be, he's probably whispering in her ear like, I can't leave my family. I don't want to break up what we got, but I can't leave my family. I can't leave my kids. And then the girl gets sucked into it or vice versa. The woman doesn't want to break up the relationship, and dude could be going all upside her head, physically abusive to the kids, physically abusive to the dude. I mean, to her and everything. But for whatever reason, she don't want to leave the dang situation. And that's the part that puzzles me.
But you know how that goes, bro. She either getting some good dick or the game is right.
True.
He's spitting some good game.
True.
Because most of the time, it's not even about trying to be smooth. It's just about having her. He's got her here. So at the end of the day,
he got her in the mind.
Like you said, that girl that he didn't have multiple kids on her.
Yeah.
He know how to talk to her. He know how to work his way out of that situation. Because if she'd have been gone. It's not too many people that can get away with cheating just for one.
Right.
And a woman will stay. Most of the time, if the man is getting away with that, it's because he's got her mentally. So and it's almost in a way to where he's made her feel like she's weak without him.
Right. No, and that's true. It's on some pimp shit, low key.
Yeah.
Low key. That's what it is. So look, I'm gonna scroll up a little bit because our comment section it's just been like off the chain. So I want to get to some of the comments up in here real quick just to see because we've been talking about a lot already and we only 20 minutes in. You feel me? So I'm gonna start with Misty. Misty said because people are afraid to not have someone.
Definitely. Okay. That is 100%.
I agree. True. Yeah, people are afraid to not having one. Emerald, what's up, Em? She says more tolerant, not desperate. Okay.
Say that again?
She said more tolerant, not desperate. So I think, and then Misty said the same thing, not desperate. So I'm thinking they don't think that, I'm assuming that it's not so much desperation for women to stay in the relationship. It's they just probably don't want to deal with learning somebody else's new shit. Because everybody
and to be honest with you, that's really what it is. I mean, and it's sad because as women are getting older, especially the real strong women that have their stuff together and, they know what they want in life, they're now at this point having to settle because there's not a lot of men that do have it together. So it's like they're having to compromise and say, okay, well, because it's the thing, as you get older, that means the baggage is there. I mean, there's going to always be some level of baggage.
There's definitely going to be baggage. I agree.
Either he has kids or the motherfucking crazy. That's, and my dad used to actually tell me this because some of these women, they be fine as you know what. But the crazy thing is you're like, damn, every time I see this person, they always single. But they look good. My dad said, don't get fooled by that. It's because they crazy. Something is going on.
But you know what it is. You know why? I always say this, and I know this might sound crazy, but the crazy was to give good head, man.
Oh, yeah. No, but look at it like this. Look at it like this. Halle Berry, for instance. Beautiful. Yeah. Fine. But cannot stay in a relationship. And that's not to judge her. But at the same time, you're either going to see the pattern with her, or you just going to say she keep getting no good men. But something got to be going on with her, too, for situations to just keep falling off. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that's true. So let me get back to some of these comments real quick because the comments are just blowing up. I'm so glad that you guys are like commenting for real. This is dope. Like all the way. So hold on. Let's see. Okay. More tolerant, not desperate. Sid said all those are on point or fear of the unknown. Okay. Emerald said knowing one person's problems may be easier than learning someone's new problems. Okay. DMX. All right. What these bitches want from a nigga. Okay. DMX. All right. Misty said.
I just want to go on record. Richard called them bitches. I didn't say it.
No, I was just reciting the song. I was reciting what these bitches want from a nigga. That. Hey, so Misty said people have low self-esteem. Teach your daughters to have their own and they will be fine with a man or without a man. See, that's a good point right there because we said that a little bit. That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
That's an
but
excellent point.
I'll be honest with you though. I don't know too many men that hang out in the streets and do their thing like that really are those type of parents though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like most men that are out there getting it in and doing stuff like that, that's an area where they lack because in their head, they like, my daughter better not ever do that. But at the same time, she's not getting that knowledge that he's putting on these women. Like one thing I would honestly say is I've always talked to Aaliyah about everything. Even when we go on our father-daughter dates or when we have the stuff at school stuff.
I feel you.
Like I talk to her about what she should expect. Like when I buy her flowers, I always tell her, when you get these flowers, because she did this one thing one time where I got her, she was getting so used to the flowers, she was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Put them in the vase. Let's go." And I noticed like she really didn't pay him no attention. So we get in the car. I said, "What color was your flowers?" And she was like, "They was pink." No, they wasn't, homie. They was white.
Wow.
Do me a favor. You better make sure when dad does stuff for you, you appreciate it. Don't take it for granted because you know what?
That's a good lesson.
There are some girls that don't get stuff like this. So you need to appreciate stuff like this. So it's like trying to show her stuff like this. And even like, she's only 9. But I always tell her, a boy should be respectful. Open the door for you. I won't even allow my daughter to open the door when I'm around. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to get her to understand what she should expect and what she should have in her life. But the problem,
those are good things.
But the problem is, and I've heard this from a lot of other women, I'm setting her up also for failure too. Because with this generation, not a lot of men are doing that. And I bet you Emerald will say the same thing. It's like, I'm a boss woman. I take care of my business. I handle but it's like there'll be some men out here that aren't on that level. So while I'm waiting on this guy, I never run into him.
Right. But see, the good though, like, because I agree with what you're doing because you're setting the tone on what to expect in life. Because I mean, a daughter, a daughter's first love is her father. A son's first love is his mother, so you do have to set the tone and be a positive example and also let her know, hey, just because a dude gets you flowers don't mean you got to give him something in return. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, I mean, guys, we think, hey, we want to take a girl to dinner. We spent $100. Shit, she better give us $100 worth of something. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm getting my $100 back somewhere.
I'll give my $100 back some way. You know what I mean? I don't care if you rub one out. I'm gonna get my $100 back some way.
Touch a breast or something.
Something. But no, I mean, I'm just digressing a little bit. But we have to, definitely do that. But getting back real quick to one of these comments, I wanted to get to this because Natasha, she says, sometimes terrified of being alone or failing. I know for me, it was the fear of failing and not being able to fix it. But I never got a side piece. My daughter came to me and told me that I deserved. Hold on. Let me see, because this says see more. I want to see what else it says because this is deep. Hold up. Mm-hmm. It says, my daughter came to me and told me that I deserved better. That conversation right there woke my ass up and I left.
Good for you. Good for you.
See, that's good, Tasha. That's real good. And
it's hard for women though, because and this is when we were talking about it earlier. I was gonna say most women that have kids, regardless if they're married or not, in their head or in their mind, like they have that ideal. I want to keep my family together. So it's not their intentions to break their families apart. So they will go through the fire and do everything that they can to hold it together. Now, the only thing is, I don't think I would be the one to really tell you if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because my thing is...
I think it's a bad thing.
Well, my thing is this. What are the limits? Like, I would say this. If you're saying it's a bad thing, I agree. But this is the thing. Set your bar. Like, what is this?
I agree.
I'm only gonna put up with so much because you're just allowing it to get worse and worse. And one thing about men is once we find out we can get away with something,
we're gonna keep pushing.
We take it to the next level.
Yeah, and women do it too. But then overall, you just end up having, like, I think, like a lot of times, like the person I was talking about earlier, I think like some of her issues on why she stays is because she didn't grow up with a father. So she got daddy issues. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. She got daddy issues. So that's one thing.
That's major.
That's major.
That's the tone of her life right there. Like that's her. A part of her identity is not there because of that.
There you go. She got daddy issues. So she's trying to she's thinking that, this is what love looks like and it's okay. And I just got to be that ride or die. And of course, like how you said earlier, the dude got in her brain and she's just there still to this day and have the nerve to marry the dude. And there's some newborn baby running around and it's a baby and it's not hers. She can't even have kids, but there's a newborn baby.
But let me ask you this though, and this is actually deep because you always talk about love and stuff, right? Like you're a big advocate on love. My question
I'm big on love.
Is if he's got some little ones running around and she stayed with him, wouldn't that be the true definition of love? And the reason why I say that is because love endures all things.
All things.
So my thing is this.
That's true.
Does that make her stupid, or does that necessarily make her just who she claims to be with him is in love with him?
I'll go back to what my father used to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
My dad used to tell me, a man or a woman in love is insane. And I didn't get that when I was like 19 years old or 20 years old. I didn't get that. But as I got older, I started realizing you don't logically think, when you're in love. When you're in love, you go through life and you just feel like you ride or die with that person. And don't get me wrong, I don't ever pitch divorce to no married couple or anything like that. I don't tell people you got to leave him or you got to leave her. I don't sit there and do that. I let people make their own decisions.
Exactly.
And but see, here's the thing, Chris. There's two types of loves. There's a few types of loves, but the type of love, the two that I'm talking about, there's the good love and then there's a sick love. You see what I'm saying? Like you can be in a love that's sick, man. You can be in a love that's completely toxic, where if you're the only one that's giving all that love, it's not being reciprocated, then that's not love. You have that love for that person, but that person don't have love for you. And so at a certain point, you have to start loving yourself and God. You see what I'm saying?
And I agree with that, because I think when you say the sick love, you're right about that. But I also look at it like this. In the relationship, somebody's always going to love one more than the other. The love is usually not as equal or as balanced, and maybe there is. I just know in most situations, you usually always find one that loves a lot more than the other. Not to say that it's a big, big separation, but you can just tell most of the time. But my thing is this: her love for him might be one-sided, but her love is true.
Right.
Now, the only part where she's lacking is the part in loving herself, which I think in a lot of ways, most women don't love themselves as much as they should. And the reason why I say that is because it's the reason why you'll see a lot of women running around half naked now, because they don't love themselves. Right. They think that because men are so attracted to this is what they have to do. But if they love themselves more, they would understand a man is going to accept me regardless of what I do because I'm a beautiful woman.
But see, you know what? Anytime I think about toxic relationships, I immediately go back to that movie Baby Boy. Remember old boy's what's the star of the movie that was crying? The singer dude. I forgot his name. Gibson. What's his name?
Who?
Tyrese.
Huh?
What movie? Tyrese. Tyrese. In Baby Boy. Tyrese's best friend. I forgot that character's name that lived with the mom and the girl. Remember, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I look at that relationship, and he gamed those women up so tough. Pete gamed those women up so tough, because he was like, I look at you like a mama. I look at you like this. And, and it's toxic where it's so manipulative and low key. I think what ends up happening, it becomes toxic like a drug. And that woman gets addicted to that drug or that feeling of being needed.
Yeah.
Like, babe, I told you, I cheat on you because, I didn't tell you about it because, I love you.
Oh, you talking about
That's
Jody.
why I cheated.
You talking about Jody. I thought you were talking about his friend.
Well, Jody did that part too. I got the parts confused a little bit, but you know what I'm saying.
Okay, but
all that shit's toxic.
And it's actually perfect you use that movie because a lot of people identified to that movie and really could see and like the funny thing is he was doing his thing, but a lot of people was happy for their relationship. And the thing is, if this was your homegirls, you would have been like, she's stupid. She stayed with him and he be messing with her coworkers and all that stuff. Y'all would have been like, she's stupid. But in this movie, y'all thought it was cute because you got to actually see the full side of it. And the funny thing is, it ties into that conversation we had as far as men not knowing what they want, because that's the reason why he did a lot of the stuff that he did on her, because he wasn't sure with what he wanted in his life. So here he had a good woman. She takes care of him. She lets him use the car. She takes care of the son most of the time. And yet all he had to do was figure out how to make money and keep her happy. And they would have been straight. So it's just like, when you look at that movie, you can honestly see, and I'm going to be honest with you, that movie is really a true representation of how a lot of relationships that go with men that are cheating in it. That's really how
I agree.
Because there's just a lot of confusion in them because they have no direction.
Now, real quick, I saw a comment that just popped up and I wasn't able to read it, but I didn't read the whole thing. I think it was from Diana. Can you put that comment back up for me, please? This comment, it was hot because it was a question about love. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. Diana she says, I found it here. She says, can you love someone and continuously disrespect them?
Oh,
I mean, technically, you can love them, but continue to disrespect them. But is it right or wrong? It's not right to disrespect them, because at the end of the day, if you want to go biblical and say, okay, love believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love is not boastful in its own. Love is patient and love is kind. But, so if you're boastful in your own, then that sounds like you're a little selfish.
Well, I would say no. I would honestly say no. And the reason why I would say no is because when you're disrespecting somebody, there's a level of you basically don't respect that person. Like you've lost a level of respect for that person. So I would honestly say that, I mean, hell, if you could, that's a weird way of saying, that's a weird way of loving somebody. Because to me, I don't think it's possible.
Well, it's not right. Now, one thing, it looks like Missy said up in here, because I'm skipping around. I'm skipping around in these comments. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm skipping around. I'm going, let me scroll back up real quick.
Rinse around.
Say that shit. See, I like Misty. Hold on, I just saw say that shit. Hold on, put that on there real quick. Misty said, "Say that shit" with a hand clap. True story. Emerald said statistically, more people in therapy from homes where parents should have separated them from a broken home. And see, I want to get back to that part right there. Right there. Because see, what Tasha said earlier, she was in her relationship, right, until her daughter said something.
Yeah.
Like at that point, when your kids are witnessing what's going on, it's like it's past late.
Shit got real, and you got to make a decision.
Right, because then at that point, what are you doing to that kid by staying in that toxic relationship? You're maybe teaching that child, the bad things. So Tasha, my hat's off to you, that you got out of that. But I know you probably, tried to stay in it as long as you could, maybe longer than you should have, but, you finally got out of it. You were smart enough to get out of it. You know what I mean? Well, so good. My hat's off to you.
Well, the bad thing is, and I think the longer you stay in it, the harder it is for you to regroup and find yourself. Because
no
I'll give you an example. I had a friend of mine that was with her man for, I want to say, like maybe 10 years. And he never married her. They have a son. He's like 8 or 9 years old. And she's the breadwinner. She makes most of the money. She took care of all the bills.
Disrespect the hell out of him, huh?
Well, he pretty much was an entrepreneur and wasn't really making that much money, but he brought a little money in, but pretty much more of a stay-at-home dad because that's where he ran his business. But the thing is, he would destroy her. He would talk down on her. He would basically make her feel less of a woman. Like basically you get fat. Like what man do you think would ever want you? Like me, I'll get married to you when you lose weight. Like on some real cold stuff.
On some Ike Turner type shit.
Yeah. So the thing was, her and
he needs to get his broke ass out of there. I hope his broke ass. I hope she left his broke ass.
So watch this. Her and I had this conversation maybe for about 2 years, and she finally left. And she went and got her own apartment. I think they had another kid after that. So they had, she was taking care of the kids on her own. This man crying, trying to get back with her.
Wait, time out. Hold on. Back up. Hold on.
What?
Wait. Hold on. So she left the situation, but she didn't want to leave the dick alone. She was like, nope, I got to keep that.
No. They had
I give him a place.
I
give him a place, but I'm gonna give him one more kid.
They had another child within that year before they broke up, and then she moved out. So
she moved out.
Yeah, she wasn't getting the dick, and then like, okay, I don't want to stay, but I want to stay.
I'm gonna stay. Hold on. You disrespecting me.
I don't love you, but I love you. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought was going on, man. I thought she couldn't leave the dick alone, but she wants to leave him alone. She was like, "No, cut that off. I need that to go."
So she basically left the relationship. It took her 2 years to finally make that decision. Now, the good thing about it is, it took her a whole year to really balance her life and to figure things out. Yeah. But when she thought about it, she was like, I was pretty much doing all the fucking work anyways. So now, like, at this point in her life, she's doing great. But it's just to show you that example of how much disrespect she took that whole time. And it literally took her 2 years to get out of it.
Wow. It's fear. It's fear. Now, see, here's the thing. What's interesting to me, right? Now, remember I said earlier, you can't make a right from a wrong situation, low key. I mean, of course, everybody has their ways they got together. Everybody has their hang-ups. Some people, they sling from one relationship to the other, because they just can't be alone. Yeah. But here's my thing. What happens to that woman, right?
Yeah.
That is with the dude in a toxic relationship, whatever the case may be, and then she finds a good dude that sees that sees the situation that she's in. Maybe they're friends. Maybe nothing happened sexually yet, but maybe the little flirtation stuff. So there's been emotional cheating.
Yeah.
And, she didn't leave, even though she knows that the dude is a good dude. I mean, I know we talked about it a little bit and I spoke my opinion on it, but I don't think you said your opinion on why the woman would choose to stay. with the current situation.
And like I said, it ties into what's invested within the time of that relationship. You know, like I said, if they have kids, most of the time the woman is not gonna up and want to just leave like that. You know, she gonna talk shit. You know, she gonna talk shit. You know, I'm gonna fuck you up. You let me catch that bitch. You know, she gonna give him a bunch of that.
You gotta catch that bitch. I'm gonna fuck her up.
but it's like at the same time, it's like in her head, she like, this is not what I had pictured for my life. You know, I have a different vision. I see myself with my man. I see myself with my kids. I see myself with my home. You know, you got to remember, most women envision their whole life within the first time meeting a man. You know,
but see, I feel you. But see, the issue that I have, like low key, honestly, man, like even women, like, because we're talking about the mental abuse, right? That women go through. We'll talk about the mental abuse. But I'm sorry, man. Like if a dude is putting his hands on you and you're a woman, right? It don't matter what you say. It don't matter what you say. Like low key, like no woman should ever get her hands put on her unless she is trying to kill a man. And it's self-defense. Like low key, if a woman is talking shit, okay, she's talking shit. God gave her a mouth to be able to talk shit. So let her
but
talk
it also
her shit.
depends on what you allowed right from the beginning, because shit.
No, that's true.
When I first got with my girl, shit, my relationship was abusive. And it wasn't coming from me. I had to tell her quite a few times.
I don't believe that. There's no way in hell.
My dad used to call us Ollie and Frazier. And I used to tell her, man, I used to have to tell her over and over, stop hitting me. I'm not going to tell you this again. Like, we don't have to argue where you got to put your hands on me.
Okay, I'm with you on that. No, I understand that part. Okay, so she was putting her hands on you. Because I went through something like that. But see, my wife was involved. Like, before she got with me, you know the story. She was beaten and stuff by her ex-husband, lost a child, all that type of stuff because of him, all that type of stuff. So our first disagreement, I feel you on that. Our first disagreement, she was ready to like fight because she thought like that's how it's supposed to be. But that's not the way. That's not love. That's not love. That's the sick love that I'm talking about.
But I'm just explaining the reason why I said that is because if they started off their relationship and it happened the first time and, you know, nothing was really like set in stone, like, I ain't putting up with that shit. You fucking end up with a pot over your head while you sleep. Then it's like it just kept going on. And then before you know it, it's like somebody getting hit. Like somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody really getting hurt. I said,
it only escalates.
Really hurt. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, baby. It was an accident. You know I ain't never hit you like that before. Come on, girl. You know when I hit you, I normally hit you right here. I didn't look.
Right.
I normally hit you right here.
Or better yet, I hit you because I love you. I hit you because I love you. Like, I don't believe in all that play wrestling. Like yeah, like I've heard that before. Like, oh, I made him upset. You know, he hit me because, because he loves me, and when he gets an emotional response, I know he loves me. Man, fuck all that, man. Right. If you in a toxic relationship, get out of that bullshit.
But
man.
See, at the same time, it's easy to say that, but I'll be honest with you. That toxic relationship is just the story of her life, because she done probably had some hurt and a lot of bad things in her early stages of her life, and that right there ain't that bad. Or at the end of the day, it might be bad, but there's a level of comfort because he's here. He don't leave. He's staying.
No, that's true.
You know what
that's
I mean?
True. And see, I know exactly what you mean. And on that note, of course, I got to tell everybody, all the listeners, make sure you guys share this post and go over to the Hot Topics Talk Radio website, because without our sponsors, we won't be on this show talking the shit that we talk. Because we act like we know everything, but we don't know everything, but we do know a lot. All right? We don't know everything, but we know a lot. But make sure you go over there to the Hot Topics Talk Radio website. It's hottopicstalkradio.com. So you can check out Shades of Africa in 2 locations. You can check out SPMG Media with our very own Gina Smith. Also, FES Protection. Get your protection on. If you ain't using Trojans, go get you some FES. No, I'm just kidding. Look, go get you some protection for real. I'm just talking my mess. And then also, we can't do this show without Urban Sentinel with our very own Reggie Kearney. So make sure you guys go over there to the website, hottopicstalkradio.com. You can hit that /sponsors and you'll get more information on our sponsors. I just had to do that real quick because, Chris, we going in, man.
No, we definitely in. And I was going to, look, just because we were talking about the hitting thing, I was going to say, fellas, unless you hitting that ass, don't hit her ass. That's all I got to say.
Right. Wait, you know what's funny? I remember my dad. He told me one time. Man, and it was so funny because I honestly thought that my dad was like, at this moment when he told me the story, I swore up and down that he hit women, right? So, he was talking about one of his ladies back in the day that pissed him off. And he's like, yeah, she pissed me off, man. So, shit, I left for a couple days and I just went to Vegas, son. And I just, got my hotel room and stuff. And she was calling, blowing up my phone. And I didn't answer that shit, son. I said, I'm not going to talk to her right now. I'm just going to be right here in Vegas. And I said, so what did you do? He's like, well, shit, son, when I came back into LA, I beat her ass up. What? Right. I said that was my reaction right there. When he said I beat her ass up, I'm like, what, Dad? What? He was like, yeah, man. He said, I had to let her know who's boss. I pulled my thing out and I beat her ass up.
Hey, look, you notice, I bet you when you said I beat her ass up, all the women was like, what? Look, they was waiting to hear where that story was going. Look, then they talking about, oh, yeah. Hey, because I forgot. Hey, look, I forgot one of the comments. Somebody comments in there was talking about Yvette in Baby Boy. I love you, Jody. And he was like, yeah, you gonna get your ass in there and cook, huh? She's like, I'm
gonna make me some tacos. You're gonna make me some tacos tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, this is really good. And see, even Diana, she was saying some good stuff, and I love what she says. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good point because we got like 13 minutes on the show, and I have to read this because she says verbal abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, all abuse is not love. Well, she said and not love, but I'm sure she meant to say is not love. And that's true. Any form of abuse is not love. I mean, for real, any form of abuse is not love.
But I'm gonna ask. Let me ask you this question though.
Yeah.
Who are we to define love, though? And I'll ask you this. I'm asking you this, and I'll give you an example of why I say that. I'm not gonna say who it is because I know you know who it is. But I done seen men that are with women that talk so much shit, embarrass them, do whatever they want because they're just that strong of a woman, and they feel like they can do it whatever they want to that man. And I never understood why a man would stay with something like that because to me, and I know you on the same boat, all about respect. So at the end of the day, you're never going to talk to me no type of way. You're never going to embarrass me in public because we going to have a problem with that. But I know men that are with probably some of the worst women I've ever met in my life. But at the end of the day, I've seen them love them better than I've seen other men love their own wives. And I never understood that. So it's like, who are we to judge what love really is? If a person really accepts that and they see that as love, I mean, shouldn't we just allow that to be accepted? Because that's their love.
Well, we automatically allow it because we're not in it. You know what I mean? So we're on the outside looking in. We can obviously speak our piece. Like I said before, I don't ever sit there and tell somebody, you got to get divorced and that nigga no good or that dude's no good or that girl's no. I mean, at the end of the day, people have their own moral compass, like granted, even with family members or close friends that you can keep it all the way 1,000 with, you have to keep it 1,000. But at the end of the day, we can only observe. Yeah. It's not so much passing judgment. Like we can say, okay, whatever that person is not going to affect my life. Like I'm not going to
put it like this. People should stop allowing to say passing judgment. I'm telling you like this. If we have influence in each other's lives, I should be able to say whatever the hell I want because it's coming from love. It's not coming from a judgmental place. It's coming out of love. Now, if you ain't helped me, we don't even talk like that. You just a gossiping ass person. Get your ass away from me. Because your shit fucked up. True. You just hide it.
Right. No, that's true. That's true. But see, here's the thing though. And I love what Natasha just said. She says, it's learned behavior, being abusive and things like that. It's a learned behavior. And then Emerald, she said, love cannot be expressed beyond the ability of the lover. See, it's learned. So let's say if a dude is in a relationship and all he knows is some pimp shit, all he knows is infidelity. That's all he knows. That's going to always be his excuse until he makes that choice to be different.
But I was going to say, is that an excuse or is that just what he knows?
I believe everybody has an opportunity to change any moment, to be different. It's like a woman has an opportunity to change her personal policy on what she's going to deal with and what she's not going to deal with. And I guarantee you, even if a woman is with a dude that's mentally abusive and they got kids together or whatever the case may be, the best way to get the change is to change herself, like Natasha did. She changed herself. She changed her own situation. And then if that dude can catch up at any point and the love is still there, then cool. They can work it out. If the love ain't there, then cool. He missed out.
I'll be honest with you. What Natasha did, that was a brave move by her. And to be honest with you, when a woman makes that move right there, is no way that man, and I won't say no way, but I will say it'll be very hard for that man to work his way back to the situation. Because it sounds like she was a rich, strong woman. So it lets me know she probably endured through a lot. And when she got to that point, that door was closed for him.
No, I'm sure she did. And most of the time when women are fed up, you heard R. Kelly's song, when a woman's fed up, they fed up. Ain't nothing you can do about it. But here's the thing. Don't lose your life in the process. Yeah. If he's putting his hands on you, leave. You got kids, take the kids too. Because 9 times out of 10, if he put his hands on you, he's definitely going to put his hands on the kids, and that's not love.
Well, and put it like this. So let's just look at it like this. If you have a man that's putting hands on you now, it's one of those things where it's like, take a stand for yourself at this point. Because you can easily say, if you getting hit, leave. That's for the beginning of the relationship. That you should, whenever that happened, you should have been long gone. Right. But if you've been putting it for years, you should probably understand that that's probably not going to just stop just like that, unless you take an abrupt stand on what you're going to accept. So make that stand. Don't put up with that, because you shouldn't.
Yeah. And low key, I mean, to the side chicks and side dicks of the world, if you're listening, if you a side chick or a side dick to a dude or a woman that's in a abusive relationship, you're gonna lose in that situation.
Yeah. Hey, but read what Sid said, because the funny thing is, this is exactly what I talked about.
Go ahead, read it. I mean, what did you say?
Sometimes it takes. I lost it. Sometimes it takes to lose something big for it to happen for you to realize. And my thing is this. That's exactly what I was trying to say when we were talking about, do men really know how to love? Because at the same time, most men don't really understand truly what love is until it creeps up on you. Like, you done lost this relationship and you about to like cry, or you really feeling hurt about this. But
I remember when you said that in one show before. Yeah. Like, that's when a dude will learn something. And I think I was like disagreeing at that time. I forgot the subject, but now I understand what you're saying. That's true. That's very true.
And the only reason why I made that statement was just like I said, simply for the fact that we're not brought up with that type of love. I mean, this generation today, because dads kiss on their sons, moms, they mamas, that's they.
Yeah, that was the show. Yeah,
but back in the day, that's just not what it was. So that's why I said, at the same time, you just have to understand. For a man has to go through that to really understand what he has and what he doesn't have. So going back to what we talked about with how that man pimping. If that's what he knows, this is who he is. So he equates love to whatever he thinks love is.
Yeah, and she can't expect for him to change. Like, she needs to get out of it. Quit being so in love with the idea of love. If this is who he is, like I remember I heard the saying, when people reveal themselves to you, believe them. Mm-hmm. Believe them. That's all you really have to do. I mean, at the end of the day, let's see. Then Tasha, hold on, we got some more comments real quick, because it's going wild again.
It's nice.
Emerald said, she said, I know someone personally who their husband caused brain damage on one of their daughters and eventually killed the wife. Damn it. See, that's the shit I'm talking about. That's crazy to me. See, so, and I'm glad this number is on here, because we're talking about abuse, and this is for men and women. The National Abuse Hotline, you see the number displayed. Call that number. Like, for real, call that number, because nobody deserves to be abused, whether it's mental abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, whatever. I think the only thing women like is when a dude is going to abuse that, that thing. That's the only thing. That's the only thing.
But watch this. I love what Natasha said, too. She said, I learned to love myself beyond captivity of the love from a man.
Oh, yeah, the capacity.
Oh, capacity, my bad. And then it said, in the process, I found the love from a man that is destined by God. And the funny thing, I always tell people, love yourself first. You have to learn how to love yourself first. You can't love anybody else until you love yourself first.
That's true.
If you don't love yourself like you're supposed to, then you're allowing somebody to pretty much do whatever they want to do, and you're accepting of it because you don't even know what really you should be accepting. So that's why I say you have to find yourself first. You have to love yourself before you're looking for it and seeking it from someone else.
No, that's real. And see, to add to that, I love this right here because Diana, she commented and she said, I told my husband before we got married, right? Mm-hmm. She says, I told my husband before we got married, I love you with all my heart, but I love me more. So I can't and will not take bullshit. See, I like that because she set the tone. You know what I mean? She set the tone. Something probably happened with her, or she witnessed something probably in her life where she said, this is my personal policy. This is what I'm going to accept. This is what I'm not going to accept. Regardless of kids, regardless of anything, this is what it is. So good for you. Good for you, Diana. Good for you. I'm glad you said that. And Natasha, she said, she said the capacity. Let me go back up. I think we missed a few comments real quick. Because I know Misty said something earlier. Hold up.
Okay. Let's find it.
There's so many comments, I don't see them all.
Look, I was going to say, we can't even go all the way back up.
Yeah, I can't even go back up because there's so many comments. But look, real quick, Chris, because we got 3 more minutes, man. Yeah. What are your final thoughts before I give my final thoughts on this topic about toxic relationships?
I'm going to be honest with you. I already said it. You got to love yourself first. That goes for men and for women. If you're in a toxic relationship, more than likely you don't love yourself enough. And that's the problem. You have to learn to love yourself, what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. And then you have to voice that to let that other person know, I'm going to be cool with this, but I'm not cool with this. And then you get to see if they're going to continue to respect you and do it or not do it. And then you make your decision on what you need to do. But first things first, love yourself and set your boundaries on what you're willing to put up with and what you're not willing to put up with.
Right. No, I agree. That's some good final thoughts, man. And, real quick, I definitely want to thank everybody that was, tuned in tonight. Because tonight it's an easy topic for us to talk about, but for some people, it's a difficult topic to listen to because the mind isn't always open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You and I, Chris, we make things funny and shit like that. We make things funny. And, but this is a very serious topic.
It is.
And I love what you said. Love yourself, But see, what I'll add to that is find the love of God. Find the love of God. Seek God's face, Mm-hmm. Then you can learn to love yourself, And then you can not only love yourself, but find the right type of love that, like Natasha said, is destined for you.
Yes.
Because I don't think anybody deserves to be, men or women deserve to be in a physically or mentally abusive because there's some trifling ass women out there too. There's some trifling ass women out there, like trifling that are mentally abusive to their men, abusive, like you said, that are disrespectful ass females. And y'all need to stop that shit. And men, low key, if you in that shit, get out that shit. Serious. Just, get out of it. You deserve better. And women, you deserve better. And if you a side dude, you giving some side dick to a woman that's in an abusive relationship, that shit ain't gonna work out.
Nope.
Stop it. That shit ain't gonna work out. Stop it. It's not gonna work out because you're building the building blocks of something built on something wrong.
Right.
You're building on something that was built wrong. So stop it. Just stop it now while you ahead before the emotion gets involved. Mm-hmm. And if the emotion's involved and things like that, like if you a side dude, you can get killed low key by the dude that's already a couple fries short of a happy meal. You feel me? If he's putting his hands on his woman and his kids,
especially if he's clueless and he would never expect that coming from her, you might be in some serious trouble.
Absolutely. So stop that shit while you ahead. Real talk. And these women, these men as y'all are, You know, y'all have been side chicks forever and a day, and all that type of stuff, and trying to be there for that good man because y'all in love with the idea of love and want a piece of that good man because he's good to me. Waiting in line for the wifey to they waiting for the wifey to fuck up. Look, check this out. If you've been a side chick for like 6 months, a year, and you know about the situation, let me tell you what that dude is telling me and Chris, like his homeboys, right? He's like, man, I got this baddie, man. This baddie, man, I could roll through there at 11 o'clock at night, man. She gonna help me get one out real quick, and it's gonna be all good, and I can just go home and be tired and go to sleep, and you with a smile on my face, and man, that's my ride or die.
Hey, no. But watch this. This is my favorite line. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Her be doing her thing. Hey, she ain't gonna say nothing. That's my boo.
She ain't gonna say nothing. That's my boo. That's my wifey.
Hey, my girl called her the other day, and she was like,
"Yeah,
habla inglés." No, habla
right.
All right, that's my ride or die. She got me.
That's my ride or die. She got my back. She got my back, dog. Like, so, but that's what I'm saying. Like, the side chicks out there, I know you trying to find love in all the wrong places. The side dicks out there trying to find love in all the wrong places, man. Find your own love, man. Leave that toxic shit alone. And women that are going through abusive relationships, leave that shit alone. Dudes that are in abusive relationship or even causing the abuse, leave that shit alone. Like, stop it.
Quit being a punk. Hey, quit being a punk and grab her and shake her and tell the girl, you lucky I love God.
There it is.
Hey,
so, I mean, that's the final thoughts for today.
Hey, don't hit them, shake them. If they hitting you,
you
got to do something. You just can't be blocking and all. You better shake or something.
Oh, man. That's funny. Hey, Shook said one comment, and I hate him for this because I know where his brain is on this one. I hate you for this, Shook. Mr. Shook says side chicks suck. Yes, they do. I can't stand you for that, Shook. I can't stand you for that.
Hey, but you know what I was
man.
Too. Just as far as we talk about toxic relationships and loving yourself and all that, apply that to your life. Yeah. It don't necessarily have to be a relationship. It ties to your friends. It ties to your coworkers. Man, I'll tell you something my mentor just told me 2 weeks ago. Sometimes you have to stop allowing people to have anytime access into your life. You got to have a way to close down doors to where people just can't invade your space. Even hi can sometimes pull your energy. Like, you don't even realize just saying hi to somebody you don't like takes a part of your energy away. So sometimes you got to find a way to close your life off. So that way you're not giving people energy that you don't want to give. So like I said, apply every part of your life.
I agree, man. And that's real good. Hey, Krishan, I see you, man. I'm glad it's your first time tuning on to the show, man. I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here, Krishan. That's for real. So look, I want to thank all of y'all. I want to thank Misty, Tasha, Diane, Emerald,
cousin too. What's up, cousin?
Shug, everybody. Sid, for sure. Sid, thank you so much for tuning in, man. Let's see, who else am I forgetting? Diana. You said a lot of key stuff tonight, so thank you. All of you guys said so much good stuff tonight. And for real, we thank you guys so much for your continued support. We thank you for tuning in. Pretty soon we're gonna be changing the platform. Pretty soon, I'm giving up the ghost. We gonna get our theme music back going.
And we just keep upgrading. That's all it is. We keep upgrading. They got to keep up.
Yeah, we upgrade.
Hey, we got to hit them with the famous line, though, right?
Yeah, no, that's your line. Go ahead and hit it with that line because that is our famous line, but you created that line.
So here we go. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is another week. Had a nice show. I hope you enjoyed it. But this is the thing. And this is a shout out to all the friends that we know and we talk to about the show. Oh, yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
Time did it come on? Oh, you need to send me a reminder. Okay. I'm going to remind you.
That part.
If and when, and I'm not even going to say if, I'm just going to 100 keep it real. The show keeps growing. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. By the time we can't get through all the comments in the show and you start watching, and you act like you know us, it's not gonna go down. Get in now. All of y'all that watch the show and show us love, we are always gonna look for your comments because y'all are our day ones. You hold us down.
No doubt.
You help us make the show better. So we appreciate you for that. But if you try to get with us when the show goes big, we don't know you. There you go.
Chris, you go hit him with the shoulders, dog. You gonna hit him with the shoulders like
we don't know.
I don't know how to pronounce that name of that comment. Okay, moving right along.
Right. What's up, Chris?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? No, I don't know you, bro.
Oh man, hey, this was fun tonight, Tony. I see you right there. What are your final thoughts? What do you think about this show tonight?
You know what? It was really,
I'll be back.
Really,
okay, Chris.
Really a good show. I think that it's a show that I believe that was needed. I think that we do shows that provide a little laughter, right?
No doubt.
But in a lot of cases, when you talk about subjects like this, and then you end up in an area that you are speaking on things that can either hurt someone or it can either cause them death.
Right.
It becomes a serious, very serious topic. And I think that a lot of people don't realize that the relationships that they are in, that they are toxic.
Yeah.
And you have to find a way to be strong enough to say, you know what? I love me more than I love being hit on, or I love me more than being emotionally abused. I can't remember the viewer who had mentioned that, about loving yourself more than you love being abused. Exactly. There's so many levels to it.
I think that was between Natasha and Diana. Like, Diana was talking about
I want to say
policy. Like, she set the tone.
Yeah.
And then Natasha was like, look, I ain't dealing with this because my daughter came to me and said, Yeah.
And I think it's also equally important to say that when a family member sees something that is possibly going to harm you, I think that it's important that you actually take a step back and take a look listen to what they're saying and look at it and listen to it with a clear mind. Because a lot of times people in these relationships that are toxic, their mind is so clouded because of years of emotional abuse.
They almost become numb to it.
Right. And
it doesn't register as being a big deal.
Right. But it only then will become a big deal when someone ends up in the hospital or your child is hurt or,
or killed,
or you end up in the grave. Hold
on. Hold on. Richard, did you see that situation the other day? The girl that got into it with her boyfriend and she ended up running him over with the baby and the baby died?
What?
Oh, my.
That just happened maybe 2 weeks ago. But her and her boyfriend was getting into it. And
damn.
He got out the car with the baby and she ran him over but killed the baby.
See, that right there.
That's a toxic.
That right there, it goes too far. It goes way too far. But you guys hit on some really, really great points tonight. Even though it was, you had your moments of fun, but it is a serious issue. And you have to really take a step back and you have to clear your mind as to what is going to be good for you. And if you have children, good for your children. Simple as that. Simple as
it could be more harm staying in it than good, definitely.
Right, absolutely.
But like this, I can't let this show in on a sad note. Like y'all, look, I understand we got to get serious, but I ain't been on here in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Tony gonna get serious.
So I got to say some stuff. So listen up, ladies. I don't want you to get confused about this. There are some levels of beatings that you should take, and it's because of men love you. So,
absolutely,
in the bedroom. Don't worry about the man getting beat up, girl.
It's pulling of the hair.
I love you. So do me a favor, baby. Because I love you, I'm going to take care of you. Not do too much. I'm going to put you to sleep. But you're supposed to be beat. But that's the only beating I want to get.
Oh, dear Lord.
Y'all know I'm just playing.
Oh, my gosh. So again, I do want to say this for those who do not know a way out, or if you need to seek shelter and safety. Again, we have posted the National Abuse Hotline here for you. You can dial 1-800-799-SAFE, or that's 799-7233. That's the National Hotline for abuse. And that is 24/7. 24/7. Doesn't matter what time of day you need it, because they are there to keep you safe and get you out of harm's way. All right.
There it is.
Tony, you about to go get beat?
Yeah, she like, hey, Suge. Hey, so you missed last week. Last week, her and Suge got into it, y'all.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I caught the show in the middle of the week. But I got to catch Suge. Hey, Suge was on point with his jokes, man. Suge always come with.
Had Tony sweating and everything. It just got real.
Look,
I'm telling
you.
you.
I was trying to figure out how that topic got X-rated towards the end.
Exactly.
Let me tell you how that happened.
It was Richard's fault.
No, let me tell you how that happened. Tony got too close to the mic. That's how that happened. Tony got a little too close.
What
I
seen is she started revealing certain things that she likes.
Right, she started waving her hand.
That is not what I did.
That's exactly what you did. You were waving your head, talking about, yeah, I like to get smacked. Throw it back.
Look.
See, that's what she was doing. That's what she was doing.
Why she remind me of a ghetto girl when you talk about, yeah, she like to get smacked. She's talking about,
oh my God. Man, let's wrap it up. Man. You've been watching M2M-TV. Look, we come on here every Thursday night at 7:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You know, make sure you tune in next week. If you're not following the page yet, go over to the page, M2M-TV, the M2M TV, and follow the page. Share this show. Share it with your friends. Share our page. Promote the page with us. And if you guys have any topics you want us to talk about, by all means, inbox us. Let us know. This show topic tonight was from an inbox message. Real talk. So make sure you go over there. We actually listen and we talk about it. And we actually have a good time talking about it. All right? We don't know everything, right, Chris? But we know a hell of a lot. Absolutely. We know a hell of a lot. So make sure you check in back on Hot Topics Talk Radio. Every Tuesday, you got Real World News. Every Wednesday, you got Tony Breedlove and Roland D and Yvonne on Hot Topics. That show is always lit. Always lit on Wednesdays. And then, of course, we bring it home Thursday night at 7:00 with M2M-TV, where it's nothing but raw, uncut talk, where we talk shit and swallow spit on the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network. All right? It's been real, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Good night, you guys. Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Good night, y'all. We're out of here, Will. All right. M2M-TV, you are now clear.